I have a confession.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel.
Today's story blew my mind.
I probably don't even need to give you the lore dump here.
The world is filled with reactionaries, opportunists, liars. A wasteland of creative thought. Opinions on meaningless topics.
Pokimane has a boyfriend.
They feed the machines, and it's made their opinions worthless. Maybe it's always been that way. But if people want an opinion, I'll be there.
Because all I've ever really wanted is this little microphone.
Because you need me. I hate commentary and video essay channels. That's it. That's the confession. It's a genre that's become lazy, negative, and conspiratorial. And I'm still coping with the idea that I fall into their category. You've seen this gameplay before. It's CSGO Surf and a YouTuber just gave it out for free. Here's Rocket League, here's Valorant. You don't even need your face on camera anymore. A computer and a microphone are the only qualifications to become the moral authority to millions. All you need to spread misinformation. And someone who's really good at that is Sunny V2. Someone who initially felt the same way I did about commentary channels, with one exception.
Maybe we'll talk about EDP replying to some 16-year-old girl in his likely thousands of DMs and frame the whole scenario like he should be put in jail.
That didn't age well. But Sunny has become the exact thing he hates.
Who did something really quite minor. But since I'm a commentary channel, I've figured out a way to make it seem way worse than it really is.
Which is what he's done in a lot of his own videos, including the Chris Tyson situation, saying that Mr. Beast was uncomfortable during a live stream.
But Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Or that this situation will kill his channel.
If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real.
How could you possibly know that? These are just reckless opinions he's sharing like facts, and people buy into it. But when he gets called out for it, he takes no responsibility and goes completely silent. But that's the nature of a video essay. Make up some shit that's not true, wrap it around a story, and run with it. These channels hook you in with nice editing and spooky music, but then feed a narrative to their viewers. A psyop to make you dumber, since we're talking conspiracies.
Go ahead and take a look at the clip.
Did Pokemon and Toast already leak? Have they gone public with it?
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna lie here, folks. When you look at that clip, it almost looks intentional. I mean, the way he smiles, like his body language kind of during that whole thing, I think maybe he did this on purpose.
You know, for channels that like to talk about Pokimane so often, you'd think they wouldn't fall for such easy bait. But this is Optimus, and he's not the brightest. A commentary channel that uploads multiple times a day, and the last guy I want talking about politics.
So what the Democrats have done, for whatever reason, is continue to go down this like corporatized ass route where all their candidates are extremely unpopular.
The Dems are so unpopular, they won the Senate after being projected to lose, and Newsom won his recall in like 2 minutes.
I feel like at this point in time, you know, with the economy in the toilet,
Based on what?
since, you know, he's so big on, you know, fixing racism and whatnot, let's talk about that 1994 crime bill. And I know, oh, but Optimus, everyone brings this up, bro. Oh.
Yes, let's talk about the 94 crime bill, because it seems like no one ever looks into it before they bring it up. 58% of African Americans supported it at the time, most black mayors supported it at the time, and the Congressional Black Caucus supported it at the time. Crack cocaine was running rampant in black communities, and they wanted something that could possibly stop it. A lot of the black communities were in favor of this bill. You just get the luxury of hindsight. Regardless of how you feel about Joe Biden, at least do enough research to get the facts so you can properly do your only job. I ran into this situation with Gideon fans, where I debunked his claims about Twitch being sexist, and not only has nobody countered me yet, some channels still repeat his terrible takes. This is the state of a lot of commentary channels. There's a need to produce so much content. The quality in research, original ideas, and the editing just isn't there. You don't see masterpieces like MLG Teletubbies anymore, but at least some of their fans are finally starting to notice. Sometimes these channels feel worse than AI content farms, because at least those channels talk about cool stuff like science and fake monsters. And that everlasting need for content eventually leads to commentary channels to turn on themselves. For example, here's Turkey Tom, and he likes to bully other commentary channels for no reason.
Consider this finally ripping the band-aid off to talk about why Internet AJ is extremely cringe.
He pushed his luck when he went on to accuse Pyrocynical of grooming a 15-year-old. Pyro debunked the claims, and the alleged victim came out and said this.
How were you groomed?
I don't know. I was in a call with my friend when I
typed it out. They both kind of just dropped it and moved on. Tom not apologizing and even doubling down, probably waiting for more clear evidence, while Pyrocynical went on to make content his fans despise. Now, here's the problem. That same sword can and will be turned on you, as Tom was called out for anti-Semitism and using the hard N-word. Commentary was a means to criticism, but became more about drama baiting because they needed content and clicks. But this leafy style of commentary was always boring and just bad content. And eventually, Tom can come to realize his hero is now washed up and grasping for relevance. But the clickbait and sensational headlines are still rampant. If someone asks me what my last video is about, I don't want to say a rapper who exposed himself on an airplane. The channel that covered this topic didn't do a bad job, as it goes into the mental health problems of someone dealing with the loss of the people around him. But the video ends before it could get into anything interesting. And this is why I make the content that I do. I don't want to feel obligated to talk about what's popular at the moment unless it's something I care about. And I don't want to box myself into a structure either. I can cover the red pill and then randomly rant about the finance community in between. I can talk about Japan and still call out passport bros. But in that stream of consciousness, the messaging can sometimes become confusing. And that's on me. I'll take too many ideas for a single video and try to figure out how to make it harder than it needs to be. Some ideas get dropped, but I can see how that can create some randomness. You can go to Japan to find intimacy. They're a developed country, they'll be fine. But my point about using money and status to get girls in less developed places is still the same. You guys are I get comments asking why I didn't mention certain things or why I didn't elaborate on certain issues. The answer is usually the same. I originally did, but I cut it out for pacing. Because the truth is, I don't trust your attention spans. And yet, I've criticized people for not going deeper into their analysis when I've done that. I've criticized people for missing facts, and I've done that. I've criticized people for creating misleading narratives, and in my attempt to string together different ideas, I might have done that. I wanted to appear different, but I did the same things I hated other channels for doing. And maybe that doesn't make me any better than the people I criticize.